Hello everyone, welcome back to IFA News channel. I'm your host today, Indian Forever. Thank you for giving us 1000 plus subscribers. Today's topic is about LAC tensions and escalation between India and China. To discuss this topic, retired Indian Army Colonel Rakesh Sharma sir is with us. Hello sir, welcome back to IFA News channel.
Thank you. It's my pleasure.
Okay, so we tried to gather a lot of information about your service, and we found that you actually served in northern parts of India. So tell us about this service in northern parts.
if, well, I think any infantry soldier in his entire service spectrum, and I think all in the within the army, they do cover the wide range of the theaters and the terrain that we have.
Okay.
Uh, Coming to the northern frontiers with Tibet, Indo-Tibet border, you see, it can be divided broadly into four segments. One segment is west to east is the Ladakh sector. Then is the what is I'm referencing it with our Indian states.
Okay.
The second is with Himachal and Uttarakhand. Then we come this side. It is third is the Sikkim and part of Bhutan, and then the last one is the part of with Arunachal. Uh, each of these four segments have very different topographical and operational conditions. So
Okay.
the solutions there are very different for each sector.
Yeah.
Uh, Coming to the point currently with what is going on in Ladakh, Ladakh is also known as the high altitude desert because nothing grows there.
Okay.
Some plantations have been done through the efforts of the DRDO and the Forest Department,
Mm-hmm.
uh, but still, as yet, it's a barren area.
Yeah.
Uh, the what if we have to understand what is the happening in a particular segment, uh, before that we have to take an overview of the Indo-China equation, and then we'll be in a better position to understand what is happening.
Okay. Okay, sir. Uh,
uh,
yes. Tell me, sir. Yeah. Go
yeah.
ahead.
So the if you look at the you see, there was a concept about a few decades back
Mm-hmm.
that there was enough space for both India and China to survive in the world, where as competing powers, not necessarily as confrontational powers.
Okay.
But those who propounded this theory forgot a basic underlying issue with the system of governance.
Yeah.
The system of governance in China and in India are diametrically 180 degrees opposite.
Mm-hmm.
One is a totally democratic open society, that is India, and
Yeah.
the other is a totally closed totalitarian society where the Communist Party of China controls every aspect of the citizen's life.
Yes. Observed.
Uh, so that today what we are seeing essentially is at a very very level, at a very macro level, is a clash of ideologies.
Okay, sir.
Uh,
Let me ask you
cla-
the first question. Yeah, yeah.
yeah. No, I'll
So,
just
what is the
amplify this
dispute?
one point of why I'm saying
Yes,
clash of
sure, sure, sure,
ideologies is
sure, sure.
that in democracy, accommodation is inherent.
Mhm.
In a totalitarian society, accommodation is absent, it is imposition. So these are the two difference, and that is exactly what at the basic level is transcending into the China's relationships with any other democratic country. It is trying to bully. Whereas if you look at partnerships between India and US, or India and Australia, or India and New Zealand, or any other country, India and Sri Lanka, India and Maldives, it is accommodative and cooperative.
Yes.
Whereas Chinese relationship with any of the countries, especially the BRI countries, countries who are supposed to be benefiting from the BRI, it is a relationship of imposition and exploitation. So
Mm.
that is the basic difference at ideological level. Yeah, now we
Okay.
can go to questions.
Yes, sir. What is the dispute between India and China, and why it is so intense when you hear about LAC?
You see, the dispute is again, as I told you, that it's an idea. In my personal view, it stems from the basic ideological difference in approaching issues.
Okay.
Uh, you see, when Indo-Tibet border was historically, if you look at it, so China was never what it is now. The Han China was a very small segment up in the central part of China. Then they captured all these areas, Manchuria, Eastern Turkmenistan, Xinjiang province, and all these other areas, and they became China. And now their latest conquest is Hong Kong. So they are, it's a kind of a modified old Soviet Union type of a model.
Okay.
Now, the disputes that have arisen is the dispute. It ranges from China uses historical references wherever it suits its narrative.
Okay.
The Tibet, like the Tibetan plateau, was at different points of time governed in one part, two parts, but different rulers throughout history. I mean, as you go back as 600 AD, 700 AD, but those historical reference, using those historical references to lay claims on present day boundaries or present day landmass is just not possible.
Okay.
Even if we go back to the modern times, the boundary was laid by the what is called the McMahon line.
Yes.
But there were two problems with the McMahon line. Number one, McMahon line was drawn on a map. It was not identified on ground. And the problem with that is that a line on the map, no matter how thin,
Okay.
it can translate onto a ground covering a distance of width of between 100 meters to
Yeah.
10 kilometers, depending on the lay of the ground and depending on the topography of the map accuracy of the area.
Question. Yeah.
There are certain maps that had not been updated. Now, of course, with the space technologies, satellite technology, and GIS, the maps have been updated to a great extent.
Okay.
But there were times in 1940s and 1950s when the maps were not updated. There were features
Yes.
that were existing on ground which were not marked on map. So when
Okay.
you drew a line over a stretch of say 100 kilometers, if there were three or four features that were existing and which were not on the map, how do you identify it?
Yeah.
So China is taking advantage of those anomalies and trying to push its adversaries. It happened with Vietnam. There are disputes with even with Myanmar and with India, with Bhutan. They're trying to push, to keep whomsoever they
Tensions.
perceive as an adversary on the back foot.
Yeah.
So the Chinese will keep this so-called dispute over what we call as LAC as simmering.
Okay.
They would like to regulate the temperature, that when it suits them they'll heat it up, and when it doesn't suit them they'll let
They
it
cool
cool
it
off.
down. Yeah. Okay, sir. So, what is the status quo in eastern sector of the India-China border, sir? I mean,
Uh,
how does the patrols taking place? Does India
you see,
patrols beyond Finger 8 area and China patrols beyond Finger 4 area? So, what is your
uh,
thought on it?
the thing is that this whole thing was defined in an agreement that is called the Peace and Tranquility Agreement, that was signed between when Shri Rajiv Gandhi was the Prime Minister, and that is what gave birth to the concept of claim lines, LAC, and ground positions.
Okay.
So, as a follow up of that agreement, a lot of things were to happen. That agreement happened in 1989. It's now we are in 20, I mean, almost 40 years down the line,
Yes.
almost 30 years down the line. Uh, the Chinese have dragged their feet over the resolving the issue.
Okay.
Basically, what it involves is that sector wise, you identify the line on the map with the features on the ground and determine the alignment of LAC. But in the interim, to maintain peace on the LAC without prejudicing one's claims, it was decided that the no man's land between the two claim lines, that is the Chinese claim line and our claim line, will be patrolled. We
Okay.
have been doing it. We used to go patrol, leave telltale marks, Maggie packets, biscuit packets, tin stuff with Indian
Okay.
markings. that yes, our petrol had gone there and we have come back, and we used to take photographs of that. They
Okay,
used to
sir.
also do it. Nowadays, we are doing it with GPS. The petrol
Okay.
carries a GPS.
Yes, yes.
It shows its presence that I have reached so and so spot and I've come back to so and so spot.
Okay, sir.
The problems arise when you know the patrolling programs coincide.
Hmm.
So the patrols come face to face.
Okay.
So that was also decided that when they come face to face, there will be no confrontation. They will talk to each other and they'll go back.
Okay.
We
Okay.
used to carry those banners in English and Chinese that you this is Indian land, you are entering Indian
Indian
land. We
area.
would take
Yes.
photographs, they would take their photographs, and we would go back.
Okay, sir.
What has happened now is particularly post COVID,
Mm-hmm.
uh, the the Chinese leadership is fearing a loss of control and disintegration.
Yes.
That is their biggest fear. The China's biggest fear today is economic collapse leading to disintegration of China like it happened with Soviet Union.
Okay.
And that is what is, you know, behind this uh, wolf diplomacy, as some people are calling it, that,
Mm.
but they're damaging themselves more than anyone else.
Okay. Okay, sir. So tell us about the patrol skirmishes happening at the LAC, sir. Have you heard about it? Have you seen it in your
No,
service?
you see, as I said, that this has been going on from times immemorial.
Okay.
In 1987, an incident took place in Arunachal Pradesh, in
Mm-hmm.
Somdrongchu Valley, where the Chinese were pushed back. Then the Indian army went on what was called the forward posture,
Mm-hmm.
and to deter any ingress by China.
Yeah.
After that, there was an agreement between that which I mentioned earlier, that Shri Rajiv Gandhi and the Chinese leadership, that which was called the Peace and Tranquility Agreement.
Yes.
And so thereafter, there was a mechanism evolved of flag meetings, of communication points, of other things. So that is how it has happened. The petrol clashes that have taken place now are something new, and that should
Very
be a cause of
intense indeed.
control
Yes.
concern.
Yes. Yes. Okay, sir. So, what happened in Pangong Lake and Galwan Valley, as per your understanding?
Uh, you see, I think what happened, what started worrying China was that post 2014, we speeded up in our infrastructure development in the border areas. It has been an ongoing process for last 20-25 years.
Mm-hmm.
The pace was very slow,
Okay.
but after 2014, the
That is
pace
after
picked up.
BJP came to power, you mean?
Yeah.
Okay.
So after 2014, the pace picked up, and a whole lot from east to west. We did a lot of infrastructure development.
Mm-hmm.
The infrastructure development improved our responsibility to anything that China tried.
Okay.
Okay. So, I mean, we built for the first time, and those facilities are being used by common citizens also. The first time an airfield was built at in Sikkim, it was built in Arunachal Pradesh. People are now
Yes.
flying to Arunachal Pradesh by air,
Yes.
cutting down travel time.
Mm-hmm.
Rail bridges have been built, road bridges have been built, new roads have been built. Now, all these infrastructure, apart from making it easy to administer these regions, is
Okay.
also enabling the Indian armed forces to shorten or lessen their response time to anything that China does.
Okay.
So now, any military planner would be looking at these things with concern, because
Mm.
if the Chinese were studying Indian capabilities, the
Mm-hmm.
infrastructure does come into play, because our response time is reduced from weeks to now to days.
Okay. Okay, sir.
So that is the thing.
Okay, sir. Do you believe China has placed their camp beyond finger four area, where our
Uh,
ITBP camp is there? As per some
no,
sources in
see,
Indian media itself.
no, there are, you see, unless that's why there are a lot of experts going around. One doesn't want to
Yes.
question their expertise,
Okay.
but unless you correlate an air photo to what is happening on ground, the you will the designation what is on ground may not be, you may see two features coming out, but actually on ground they may be, the person who's on ground or who's using the map is counting them as one feature.
Okay.
So what most people are mistaking is there's a Chinese camp just on the Chinese side of Finger 8.
Mm.
That location is being misplaced by people.
Okay.
The people are forgetting that there is no way that any Chinese vehicle can travel from Finger
Finger
5
four.
to Finger
Finger
4.
four. Okay. Yes.
Okay. The maximum that Chinese vehicles can come is Finger 5.
Okay.
And this camp is way behind that, where they've got a jetty also, where they've got four boats also.
Yes. Yes.
So, there is that's a difference of correlation between the map and the air photos or the satellite photos.
Okay, sir. On LAC, does LAC climbed by India goes beyond Sirija post of China? I mean, beyond this finger eight area.
You
Does
see,
our LST goes beyond that base or
no,
within the finger eight area? We have a lot of confusion on this,
no,
So
there is
can you?
no. You see, technically speaking, the whole of Akshay Chin is a
Yes,
part of India.
obviously.
Okay, the LAC and the LOC are interim mechanisms.
Hmm.
They are never meant to be permanent.
Yes.
They are interim mechanism to prevent a conflict escalation till the issue is finally settled.
Okay.
ठीक है ना? The
Yeah. Yeah.
issue has to be finally even if it is, I mean, I'll just put in a word here that even if physically any changes may take place on LOC and LAC, at the end of the day, these have to be decided on the negotiating table between the diplomats and the political leadership of both the countries.
Yes. Okay, sir. Why do you think India is not talking about Aksai Chin? It's our legal territory, forcefully
Okay.
invaded and
Uh,
occupied by China right now. So why India is not taking this matter with Chinese counterpart, and why we are not we are just constrained within the LAC debate? Why is that?
you see, if we would look at it at this way, that we would want negotiations on our terms. We would not want to go into a reactionary mode.
Hmm.
They want to heat up the LAC. We will not allow them to heat up the LAC.
Hmm.
That is the approach of the government.
Okay.
My reading of the entire approach of the government, be it Doklam, be it Chumar, be it any other LAC conflict, has been that we have not allowed China to heat up the border. It's very easy to do chest thumping, jingoism,
Yes.
but cool-headed, level-headed dealing with the matter
Mhm.
rationally and logically, not playing into the hands of what your adversary wants you to do is the key to victory.
Okay. So, no, no. My question was why we are not taking it very strong position with the accession
How
claims, sir.
how do we know that we are not taking it strongly? The in the parliament, the statement has been made on the floor of the parliament.
Okay.
The How do we know that it is not being taken up? That is what I said, that everything that is happening at the negotiating table does
It's
not
not known
have to
to
be a
all. Yeah.
chest thumping,
Yes.
I'll break your nose type of an dealing.
Okay. Okay, sir. So why do you think we don't hear much debate about Galwan Valley? What is happening there, and what is your take on it?
No, there is plenty of actually. Actually, I think Chinese are more disturbed about Galwan Valley.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah.
You see, the road that has gone up to Galwan Valley has earlier on we used to go through a place called Sasoma. We had to walk, climb up the Saserla Pass, and then
Mhm.
go into that sector.
Yeah.
SSN, it was known as Subsector
Turkey
North.
River something. Yeah.
But now we have got a road going through there,
Yeah.
and that makes logistics much easier. And that
Yes.
also makes reinforcements and relocation of forces much easier.
Faster also.
So
Yeah.
obviously now where Chinese you would be planning it will take India 20 days or 30 days to respond. Now we can respond within 3 to 4 days. So
Okay.
that unnerves them, that unsettles them.
Hmm. Okay, sir. Have you seen this scuffle video lately surfaced on social media? What is your take on it? And what happened to those armored vehicles left back by Chinese as they ran away quickly back to their base? So, what's your take on it?
I think they would have taken them back.
Okay.
These are these are very in the larger scheme of things. These scuffles and these clashes may be of interest to or and indicative of an issue. But the
Okay.
larger issue is that we should not, what is the aim of this? This time, like China came ready, they came with the physical
Shields.
violence
Yeah.
that took place.
Obviously, with the
Uh,
shields also. I have seen that video.
yeah, so that was something that we have to. Why did that happen? My reading is that China wanted to heat, generate heat
Escalate it.
on
Yeah.
that episode.
Okay.
Now, if we also generate heat, then you see what happens is we are a democratic country.
Okay.
The public pressure would compel the government to take certain hard measures, which may
Yes.
not be in our national interest.
Yes. Absolutely.
Our national interest dictate that we do not allow China to control the temperature levels at the LAC.
Okay.
So we are firm, we are resolute. This has been conveyed to them.
Okay.
And you see, another very interesting thing that happened in this is that after these clashes took place,
Mm.
the control of both these sectors, that is the entire border of India and China, was taken over from the theater commanders by a representative of the CMC,
Yeah.
the Central Military Commission.
Yes.
That means that the issue now is engaging the topmost leadership of China.
Hmm. Okay,
So
sir. Yeah. Tell me.
if that is the situation, then we have to play accordingly. We cannot. I keep repeating that we cannot allow China to dictate the pace and the temperature of the events.
Okay, sir. So, what will be our government's next move in this regards? As latest meeting between India and Chinese military delegations has been failed, I think so.
No, how
So,
do you call it fail? We have communicated. You see, anybody who expected any dramatic results from this was probably out of sync with what happens in the real world.
okay.
Uh, this meeting was important because at the military level, it was conveyed to China that look, we will not tolerate your nonsense, and
Yes.
we are ready to deal with it. We have positioned our forces. They also know today satellite imageries reveal everything.
Okay.
They also know where our forces are, and we've told them that we have to go back to status quo prior to April
April.
2020.
Yes.
Now, now that has been made clear to them officially at all levels. It
Okay.
was first at the flag meeting between the sector commanders. Now at the corps commanders level,
Mm-hmm.
at the joint secretary level, MEA talk that took place,
Mm-hmm.
at conversations that are going on with the Chinese embassy. The
Yes.
Indian position has been very clear that we will only, you see, it is like same thing that we say that you have to, anything that you want more than this, you have to earn it. If China wants to discuss anything more than the, say in Ladakh sector, anything current, they first have to restore status quo.
Okay.
After that, we will discuss anything. So it is all
Yes.
conditional now. Now the firmness and the resolve of the present government
It's very
is that,
strong. Yeah.
yeah, it is very strong. We are not allowing China to dictate terms. Yeah, people may say, okay, no, they did this, so we are reacting. No,
Mm-hmm.
what China does is not in India's hands. They can do
Okay.
anything that they want. They Nakula may they tried something funny.
Mm-hmm.
They try, they may try anything funny in other sectors.
Yeah.
But what is our response? Our response is we will not allow them to mess. Nothing has been lost. There is total preventive deployment along the in the sector.
Yeah.
The fact that we have moved in certain forces, additional forces, has been conveyed to China, as China is aware of it.
Yes.
The uh, the seriousness of that is apparent from the type of propaganda that is coming out from Chinese media. Like yesterday, that
We saw
juvenile
on
video
video.
was
Yeah.
put out by Global Times.
Yes. Yes. Yes, sir.
So that is it.
Okay. So this is very famous question asked by our viewers actually. Do you think China and Pakistan preparing for two-front war against India? In my
Are
personal
they
opinion,
already not in a
Pakistan will not
two-front war?
waste any time if Chinese open a front in the east. So,
No,
what is your take?
are they not already colluding on a two-front war?
They are colluding, but
So
right now
it
the
is just a
situation is
question of
escalating to
escalation.
that point. Yeah.
It is, you see, now I'll make a statement now, which many may not agree with me,
Okay.
but China is in no position to undertake any large-scale military operation against India.
Okay.
Okay,
Hmm.
the situation that is existing now, they to take any military large-scale adventure in any sector, any of the four sectors that I have said, will require China to bring in at least 5 times the forces it has in Tibet.
Okay.
And all these forces will be at a cost
Yes.
because they will not touch their forces that are earmarked for Taiwan. They will
Mhm.
not touch their forces that are earmarked for Hong Kong.
Okay.
Where
Very
will they get the
interesting.
forces from?
Yes, sir. It's a very, very
From the
interesting view.
restive
Yeah.
areas of eastern China.
Okay.
And then there is a danger that once these forces are pulled out from that area, internal rebellion starts. Who knows? Even Manchuria today, though people say that Manchuria is quite settled, but even Manchuria may rise up. People used
Okay.
to say that Ukraine is quite settled into merged into China. Belarus is quite settled, but they have their independence of Soviet Union.
Yes.
So this is, and this is the biggest fear of China.
Hmm.
If frankly speaking, I would say that India should create conditions all along the Chinese frontier that they are forced to deploy a matching deployment of India.
Okay.
It will be at a terrible cost to the Chinese
Chinese.
Communist Party
Yes, sir.
because their internal control mechanisms will go for a six.
Okay. What could be the reason behind China's aggression towards its neighbor, especially with India and the neighbors in South China Sea? Chinese bullying has increased during this COVID pandemic rise, right? So, what is the reason behind, sir? What do you think
It's,
about this?
you see, like you have it's a psychological problem with the Chinese Communist Party as such.
Okay.
They don't want to be seen as having been weakened as a result of this Wuhan coronavirus pandemic.
Mhm.
So, to show that they are not weakened by the Wuhan coronavirus pandemic, they have gone out on an aggressive mode against almost everyone, the entire world.
Mhm.
To an extent that I would say that China is probably the only country that is, compromising its food security by banning countries who could supply food grains to it.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah. Okay. Okay, sir. Thank you. Thank you for sharing your thoughts on these very important issues and your final comments on Indo-China border escalation, sir. Your take.
It will not be an easy. It will be a long haul. It will not happen overnight. But over a period of time, maybe 2 months, 3 months, uh, because again things have to. Since the CMC is now directly controlling the Indo-Tibetan border, the uh, the level at which this issue will finally be resolved may be the highest political level. But it will be a gradual upscale because these things don't happen overnight.
Hmm.
The institutional mechanisms will have to go through, they'll have to work through their communication channels, defining, redefining, because in such communications, every single word, every single phrase is critical.
Yes.
So, my guess is that it will be a long haul,
Hmm.
maybe 3, 4 months down the line, maybe even up to the fall or November, December of this year.
It will be, sir. Thanks a lot, sir. Thank you once again. It was a pleasure to hear from you. Straightforward as usual. Thanks a lot, sir. We'll see you again.
Thank you. It was a pleasure talking to you.